7-year-olds, apprentice shoppers, cannot always keep up with the pros. They have not had enough aerobics classes, for which the real motivation is shopping conditioning. Hannah's stamina has increased remarkably since then. Cece assured me regularly during my daughter's growing up years that they were both right on schedule in this all-important phase of development. She urged me not to worry. The thought never crossed my mind. Why couldn't God have made women to like normal things, such as sitting in the woods for days in sub-zero weather, waiting for a deer or elk to walk by? Now that is my idea of exciting watching. Or watching a football game. I'm not into TV too much, unless it is a good sporting event. Cece does not always understand me in this area, but she is kind about it. "Who are you rooting for?" she sometimes asks. "I don't care who wins," I often reply. "Are these any of your favorite teams?" "No, not really." "A favorite player or two, perhaps?" "Nah, I don't know much about these guys at all." "Then why are you watching the game?" she asks with a quizzical expression. "Because it's football," I reply as patiently as I possibly can. Sometimes people cannot figure out the obvious. I will tell you what puzzles me. Why she and my 2 daughters like to watch stuff that makes them cry. Go figure. Many kinds of watching take place. TV watching, parade watching, watching the clock, stock market watching, bird watching, ranks right up there with sewing matches to me, and 1,000 other things. I like to watch kids laugh. I hate to watch people cry. I have watched individuals be born. I have watched others die. I once watched a lady in San Pedro, Guatemala, look for a watch. It was her husband's. He died in the earthquake of 1976. So did 3 of her kids. All she and her surviving infant had left were the clothes on their backs. Their small adobe home was a mound of dirt. When our interpreter asked her what she was digging for, she replied, "A bag of beans we had and my husband's watch. He was sleeping about here when he was killed," she said, pointing at an area of approximately 10 square feet. It would mean so much to me if I could find his watch. We started digging. Although it was like looking for a needle in a haystack, we asked God to help us and waded into the 3 feet deep dirt. Right then, I would have charged hell for that watch. We found it an hour or so later. "Muchas gracias," she repeated through tears as she clutched the inexpensive watch to her breast. Treasure is such a relative term, I thought as I wiped my eyes. I wish the world could see this. Maybe some priorities would change. I watched another quake victim, holding her 3-year-old daughter, walk away from a food line in which I was serving. She was the last in line for the soup. As she held out the jar she had found, we looked at her and said, "No más," which means no more. Then I watched her walk away, holding her hungry child. Things got all messed up at that point in my life. Neat little lists of needs disappeared. Certain important goals became strangely irrelevant. Things that mattered suddenly did not. Bank accounts were looked at differently. Success was redefined. Funny how one glance into 4 eyes can bring such chaos. In many ways, order has never been restored. Be careful what you watch. Watchmen need God's 2020 vision. This introduction was taken from the final chapter of my first book, Intercessory Prayer. The chapter dealt with what I called the Watchman anointing. I want to pick up where I ended that book and develop